This is dictation at 200 words a minute. All the projects have been contracted out. How many firms contracted for it? We need to find better accommodations. Did you believe his story? It is my belief that he is telling the truth. He is asking the court for relief. There were 3 plaintiffs in the lawsuit. His counsel defended him well. Counsel will approach the bench. There are certainly farmers in my own state who would like to gain full access to the present program. I can assure you that this is not an isolated problem. What we must realize is that we are not in a position which allows us to have total freedom of action. Did you put the certificate in the file? To object would surely be futile. I do not see the object in the photo. I will try to see the matter objectively. Try using the Smith's telephone. The 2 defendants' attorneys were worried about the case. Mary worked industriously on the problem. The Industrial Revolution brought some change. The celebrity frequents this store. The outlying area is heavy industry. We all soon had a meeting of the minds, and we told Fred Landry to draw it up and that we would sign it later. From there we walked out en masse to Alan Henry's office and told Alan everything was great. I have measured this, so I think it is reasonably accurate. As previously stated, the frontage of the property is a curving line, and the actual improvements that were going from the northerly part of the property were in a straight line along the frontage, and then there was an extension out toward the boulevard. At the front of the building are located the main entrance to the building, the 2 private offices, and then there is the processing and production room where they have all this heavy equipment. My brother is a hunting enthusiast. Jacob is a true hockey enthusiast. The crowd was full of enthusiasm. The new system is efficient. Several items were missing. Has he traveled extensively? Tell me about your travels. What is the solution? Denny swatted the fly from the swatter. The doctor used 2 cotton swabs. He sprained a muscle when he swam. Miss Garrett told me she was going to work with Miss Jones and Miss Carter over the weekend, and I told her that it appeared Miss Conrad probably would not be called to the stand until Thursday. Objectively, I can see improvement. Did you consider the contract objectively? Did you certify that it is right? He certifies everything in the industry. We are boating enthusiasts. How many guests can you accommodate? I would say, well, this is just a guess or something. Flora's flair is flower arrangement. Do not fret over the early frost. The frost seems to turn to flakes. Whenever there was an industrial accident, we had told our secretary to notify the industrial board and the insurance company. The whole narrative is laid out, strengthened, cemented together, and then detail work on each scene is gone into by the editor with the supervision of the director. The new equipment is in the laboratory. What is the availability of the equipment? Their responses were simultaneous. Be there for dinner between 6:45 and 7. He has not committed enough time to the committee. Paul must do community service. I am going to a commission meeting. We must select an entirely new committee. He was born to command. The ship had sunk a long time ago. Sleep on the lower bunk. We heard the loud bang at the bank. The electrician had to repair the fuse box. Her energy always flags before lunch. Please give me a description of the dress. I can manage nicely on this income. Did you subscribe to that fashion magazine? I am managing nicely. That is one of the worst intersections in town. The material is extremely resistant. There is another reason for curbing the urge. We seem to have to rush over the precipice that is before us. We have a need to educate ourselves about the present program, about the proposal for change we have in front of us, and about the alternatives which may be presented to us at a later date. I am equally qualified for both jobs. The temperature reached 105 today. Set the oven temperature at 350. The temperature is much too high. They sold beverages at the bar. Theirs is one of the happiest marriages that I have ever seen. The insurance coverage was not enough for the accident. We found that the results on about 10 cars tested showed that most of the cars were in pretty bad shape and they would have overheated anyway. The glassware gleamed in the light. Did you see Glenn was glaring at the judge? Is that a glint or a gleam in his eye? The boiler is not functioning properly. Many animals are now extinct. There's going to be a problem if they are going to be late. Do you know where they are? Which exhibit are you going to use? The locals get together and picketed. This is an independent organization. They fought for independence. Have you read the morning paper? Be careful or the door will warp. Is there more room in the dorm? Can't you hear the bird chirp? A witness may look to the experience of having to testify as a duty of being a good citizen.